Every week we shine a spotlight on the search for missing black women and girls. They're often cases you may not have heard about, so please, we need you to pay close attention. So this week marks 4 years since a young black college student vanished in Oklahoma. Darian Hudson was 23 years old when she was last seen in October of 2017 in Stillwater, Oklahoma. She'd been going through a rough patch, as many of us do, but she had a job. She was going to school, and she was extremely close with her family. So her family members, they're adamant that she would have not left on her own. Darian's mother, Stephanie Hudson, joins us now on the phone tonight. Thank you so much for being with us. Ms. Hudson, tell us what was going on in your daughter's life in the months before she disappeared, because we know that she did have some success, but she did have some challenges.
Yes, she was going through a breakup. She had a miscarriage. She was going through a patch. She was ready to come home.
And do you think that she would have talked to you about this, or if she had any issues, or were there any strangers in her life? Anything that indicated
No. I mean,
why
we
she might have
talked.
disappeared?
No, we talked a lot. She wouldn't have disappeared on her own. So, no. Um, if we didn't talk on the phone every day, we were texting. So, I mean, I knew what was going on in her life.
Yeah, I can understand that. I've got a daughter. I'm on the phone with her constantly, texting, talking, everything. Do you remember your last conversation with your daughter?
Oh, yeah. She just said, Mom, I'm ready to come home. I want to get out of Oklahoma. And I said, okay, well,
And
when
what
do you
did
want
you
us to
say?
come in? I said, okay, well, when do you want us to come get you? And she just said that she had a couple things that she needed to tie up. And I told her, I said, okay, well, I'm probably going to call you on Friday and we'll come down that weekend and get you.
And then what happened?
That Thursday, my phone had blown up. I woke up in the morning to her friends calling me, just telling me they couldn't find Darian. They didn't know where she was at, couldn't get her on her cell phone. So I had tried to reach her. It was just going to voicemail. So me and my husband went to Oklahoma, Stillwater, and we reported her missing. But the police said that we had to wait 48 hours before,
So
because she was 20.
you went to the police before.
Yes, yes, yeah. But
And they
they
told
said
you you had to
because,
wait.
yeah, because the reason was that she was 23, she was an adult, and if she can go missing if she wants to. And I just
Oh
knew
my
that
gosh,
wasn't
that's
that wasn't the
devastating to hear.
case.
Well, we talk about these cases, and black families say they do have difficulties dealing with law enforcement. But you say that wasn't necessarily your experience. Can you tell us about your interactions with the detectives and other officials on this case over the years?
Well, I mean, we worked with a detective, Mary Kellison, and I mean, she did everything we asked her to do. She did, and any leads that I had or anything that I had, I would call her, and she would always, follow up on it. I think my thing was that I just had an issue with them waiting because we didn't, after we reported her missing, and we didn't actually, nobody actually contacted us till a week or two after, before anybody got on the case. I just don't think that they
Did
took
you
us
guys start
seriously.
searching for her?
Oh, yes, yes, we did. And then me and my dad and my brother had went back down there and we canvassed the neighborhood. We were talking to, her neighbors and just everywhere.
And what did the police say when you told them, hey, we've been searching everywhere and we can't find her?
That's when they had, basically it said that, they wanted to try to tell me stories of other cases that they've had where another person had went missing, and then 2 years later, he's in a whole different town. And well, that's not the case with my daughter. My daughter's just not going to up and leave and move to a different town and start over. So I
What
just
about
didn't
her
really
phone? Because you
think,
say you talk to her all the time. Go ahead.
yeah, her phone. I mean, um, her phone was found in her apartment. She didn't have her phone with her. So that's when I knew that something was wrong, because my daughter doesn't go anywhere without her phone.
Yeah,
She's
I hear
always
you.
has her
Nobody these
phone.
days goes anywhere with your phone. Yeah,
And she was
so
always
that
on
that
social
should have been
media.
something.
Yeah, and she was always on social media. And so for them to, like, nothing, just dead, nothing on her social media at all. That was a red flag too. So I knew something was wrong.
Yeah, this is so tough. And okay, what about going to the media? Because now, of course, we hear about these stories more often. But you said you had a hard time getting media coverage, and we make a point to highlight the search for Black women and girls every week. This was several years ago that your daughter went missing. You say you didn't get a lot of support when it came to getting
No, I mean, there
coverage for
was
her case?
reporters, yeah, when there was reporters in Oklahoma that had, reported on her and stuff like that. But as far as like big ones, I had emailed Good Morning America at one point, and they did email me back, and they was going to do an interview, but I never heard anything back after that. And so, I mean, I was constantly Nancy Grace, John, John Walsh, everybody. I'm constantly emailing and sending her photos, hoping that somebody would answer me, and then that's what I did with the Black and Missing Foundation, and they were on it like
Um,
that. I mean, I had phone calls like the next day.
but still no leads.
No, it's no. Um, Stillwater Police Department says that her case isn't closed. They just don't have anything. Just because there wasn't a crime scene or there wasn't nothing to indicate that there was foul play, basically. So everything they did, like everybody they interviewed, was basically on their own will. There was no subpoenas, there was no nothing, because they didn't have anything to go on. The police would always tell me that. They can't go to a judge and get a subpoena if they don't have evidence. And there was no evidence of nothing.
They found nothing.
Not until December 2nd. And then that's when somebody had used her credit card at an Oklahoma City motel. Well, when they found out who that was, he ended up being a construction worker that was on that site. And Darian supposedly was last seen October 26th at that construction site. And he said that he found her purse hanging on a drainage pipe. She had $345 in her purse, and then the credit card. He used the credit card. Or he took her wallet. He didn't use the credit card until December 2nd. So when they pulled them in, there was two of them, because it was him and his girlfriend. They paid for the first night, and the second night, the girlfriend went up to the desk and used Darian's credit card. The police tracked him down, brought him in for questioning. But said they don't think that there was anything, they were involved in anything, so they let them go. Then they brought drones in, and they brought cadaver dogs in, and they found Darian's sweatshirt in her purse, but there was no sign of Darian. And then that was the last time that we've had any sightings or anything of Darian.
Well, I know this is really tough on you. We've been showing pictures of your daughter. She's a doll, and we hope that maybe somebody out there sees this, sees her, and can help you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and sharing your story. And if you know anything about Darian's case, write these numbers down or take a picture with your phone. You can call Stillwater, Oklahoma Police at 4057-428357. You can also call the Black and Missing Foundation tip line at 877-972-2634. And remember, you can remain anonymous. We want to highlight another case of a missing Black child ahead of her birthday. Relisha Rudd was 8 years old when she disappeared from a homeless shelter in Washington, D.C. back in March of 2014. Well, she was last seen with a janitor from that shelter. He was found dead from an apparent suicide later that month. But Relisha is still missing. Tomorrow is her 16th birthday. If you have any information at all about Relisha Rudd or any missing case that we feature here on BNC, call the Black and Missing Foundation at 877-972-2634.